Many people think they need to earn six figures, own a business, or get lucky to become a millionaire. But it's not how much you earn, it's what you do with your money. In today's video, I'm breaking down how you can become a millionaire from investing even on a minimum wage or average income. No BS, no hype, just a clear, proven plan that you can follow. I'm going to use my 24 years investing experience to help you build real wealth no matter what you earn. Chapter 1, the Ronald Read lesson. Ronald Read was a janitor and gas station worker. When he passed away in 2014, his estate was worth around $8 million. How? Not through inheritance, not through a tech startup, but by living simply and investing consistently. He invested in boring, solid companies for decades and let compound interest do the work. That's the key. In fact, thanks to modern investing tools, it's even easy for someone in the UK or wherever you live to replicate his success. So what exactly did he do? He lived frugally. He spent less than he earned and he invested the rest. Now, before we crack on, I want to use a personal story to demonstrate the importance of investing and why I'm so passionate about helping people with this channel. Going back to 2001, I was just 18 and I invested £500 a month into a stocks and shares ISA for a full 6 months, but stopped and spent all of my money on a lad's holiday to Ibiza. Huge mistake. This was down to a lack of financial education. Now let's say I was taught about things like compound interest back at school. I'm very confident I would have invested from 18 to now. So that's a full 24 years. If I got average returns of 10%, very achievable based on historical data, that would mean I would be now sat on £594,000. And looking at that huge amount, 450,000 of it is made up of interest earned. This is the power of consistent investing in index funds, the power of compound interest. If you have a similar story because of a lack of financial education at school, let me know below. Chapter 2, the Millionaire Formula. Here's the simple formula that has made more millionaires than anything else. Earn money, that includes an average income, spend less than you earn, invest the difference. Stay consistent for decades. It's not quick, but it works. And when you start early, compound interest turns small monthly investments into serious long-term wealth. If you follow this system with discipline, it doesn't matter if you're on 30k, 35k or 100k. What matters is that you're consistent, focused and using the right tools. Chapter 3, use a stocks and shares ISA. Let's start with the biggest wealth building hack the UK actually has, the stocks and shares ISA. You can invest up to £20,000 per year. All your profits from capital gains or dividends are tax-free. That's huge. And you don't need to be a stock picker, an expert. With providers like Vanguard, Invest Engine, AJ Bell or Moneybox, you can invest in a low-cost global index fund with just a few clicks. Let's say you invest £250 a month into a global index fund inside your ISA. Over 30 years, with a 10% average return, you could end up with over £565,000 and none of it gets taxed. Later in the video, I'll give you examples of how you can become a millionaire with index investing. But the main message I'm trying to get across is the importance of investing. Because once it clicks, you'll find a way to invest every single month. Start small if you need to. Even £50 a month matters. Time is more powerful than the amount. For more info on the stocks and shares ISA and how you can use it to retire early, see below for a recent video. Chapter 4, don't ignore your pension. Your workplace pension is your second superpower. It's automatic wealth building, and here's why. If you put in 5%, your employer often adds another 3 to 5%. That's 100% return on day one. Plus your contributions are made before tax. Let's break it down. You contribute £200 a month, your employer adds £200. That's £400 every month being invested automatically into long-term funds. And yes, you can change your allocation. Most pensions let you pick global trackers or low-fee growth funds. If you don't know what to pick, start with a global index option and keep it simple. Now, before we crack on, this video doesn't contain any financial advice. The full disclaimer can be found below in the description. Chapter 5, why index funds work. So what should you actually invest into? For most people, the answer is index funds. These funds track entire markets like the FTSE 100, SP 500 or global markets. You don't try to beat the market, you own the entire market. Benefits of index funds: low fees, often under 0.2%, diversified across hundreds or thousands of companies, historically strong returns, around 10% annually, as I've said. You could use something like Vanguard FTSE Global All Cap, iShares MSCI World, Fidelity Index World Fund. Put them in your ISA or pension, set up a direct debit and leave them alone long term. Chapter 6, what if you're starting late? If you're in your 40s or 50s and just starting, don't panic. You can still build real wealth by the time you're around 65, but you need to be more aggressive. Let's say you invest into a low-cost index fund and achieved an average 10% each year. Age 25, £200 a month for 40 years gets you over £1.2 million. Age 35, £500 a month for 30 years gets you over £1.1 million. Age 45, £1,500 a month for 20 years, again gets you over £1.1 million. This is just to give you a few simple examples of how you can become a millionaire by investing in low-cost index funds. The earlier you start, the more time does the work. But even if you're late to the party, compound interest still helps. Just try and be more aggressive with your investing if you start late. Chapter 7, Millionaire Mindset. The wealthy don't always look wealthy. Most millionaires live below their means. Track the spending and invest consistently. Traits of self-made millionaires: personal responsibility, intentional spending, long-term focus, financial discipline, learning mindset. It's not about depreciate, it's about design. You're designing a future that works for you, not living month to month forever. Chapter 8, Action Plan. Here's your millionaire action plan. 1. Open a stocks and shares ISA. If you're a UK investor, start with Vanguard or Invest Engine, for example. 2. Invest in a global index fund monthly. Even just £50 is okay. The important thing is to start. 3. Max your workplace pension contributions and employer match. 4. Track your net worth every month, and you can use a free spreadsheet or an app like Money Dashboard. 5. Read one personal finance book per quarter. Start with The Psychology of Money, or maybe one per month. 6. Automate your investments. Set and forget. The earlier you start, the easier it gets. But wherever you are, start now. Summary. You don't need a fancy job, a trust fund or a side hustle empire necessarily to become a millionaire. You need a plan, some patience and a system that works. Obviously, if you want a business and it does really well, you can become a millionaire in like 5 or maybe 10 years. But this channel is more about simple ways to build wealth with things like index funds or similar. Index funds are an ideal place to start if you're a beginner, and this channel will help you get started. If this or any of my other videos resonate with you and your investing experience, you have the option to take our relationship one step further by joining my free investing community over on School. Yes, this is a bit of a sales pitch, but it's full of resources to help you invest your way to financial freedom, and at least I've waited until the end to hit you with it.